Hello to my Emmanuel Lighthouse United Pentecostal Church family. I am so sorry to be coming back to you like this once again as we face a new lockdown that is being imposed starting the 26th. We will be having our Christmas Eve service, but it will be the last time for 28 days that we are able to have our traditional in-person services. I'm doubly sad to come to you at this point because the first time around in March when we entered into a lockdown, we did so with a free conscience and voluntarily doing so, recognizing that at that stage there was a lot of things that were unknown about the pandemic and that we wanted to do our part to be good citizens of Canada and to do everything we could to support those who are entasked with our public health. It's a little bit different this time around. For one thing, at this point there is ample evidence, many studies that demonstrate that lockdowns are, number one, not effective at countering the pandemic, and number two, that there are a tremendous amount of negative consequences that come from lockdowns, everything from economic, but also beyond that to mental health, skyrocketing suicide rates, overdose rates, and in many cases the deaths from suicides and from drug overdoses far exceeds the number of people that have died from COVID-19. Despite that, our governments continue to bow to pressure even after it was not 2 months ago that the government of Ontario was saying that lockdown would not be a part of the arsenal moving ahead, and they recognized that the impact to small businesses and to the social fabric of our province, that the costs were too high. But under pressure, once again, we find ourselves going into this mandate. Add to this the fact that this time we know that here in Renfrew County that there isn't a real and present danger. Furthermore, the government acknowledged that we have done a great job. We have kept faith with the government. We have followed procedures. We have spent thousands of dollars to implement protocols. Many of us have worked long and hard to try to make things work despite the various limitations and protocols we have had to put into place. And so we have kept faith and we have done a good job. We have managed all of these things. And so the numbers in our particular county as well as many other regions across Ontario are doing very well, which was acknowledged by the government. And so in many ways we know that this particular lockdown is not really about us at all. As a byproduct of that, I will say this with absolute certainty. I will accommodate the 28 days that the government has asked for, but I will not, make me very clear, I will not go into another period where we are strung along again and again. In March we were told 14 days, which became a month, which became 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and it wasn't until we threatened legal action through a number of churches, synagogues that came together that the government finally opened up to allow us to have in-person services, though there's never been an established correlation between the spread of the pandemic and having church services where protocols are observed. And so it was only with great effort that we achieved the ability to meet in person once again, which is a clearly defined charter right that all of us have as Canadian citizens. So after 28 days, we will be getting back together. We will be having service at that point. At the same time, however, we do have a few more tools in our arsenal, and so it's not going to be just online during this time, but we're going to be trying to be a little bit more creative. We do have the ability to have 10 persons in building, and so we will continue to have prayer meetings. We will have small group Bible studies. We may even do some staggered services over the course of hours with just a small group and having a very quick, very short worship service, and so you have the opportunity to not be isolated in your home, feeling alone and disconnected from the body of Christ. And so we're going to work very hard over this next month to make sure that this is a time of spiritual growth rather than a time of darkness or a time of spiritual apathy. And so we will be coming to you with various plans and protocols as we move ahead to try to accommodate and to make things work for the next 28 days. And then we will be back together. And with God's help, we are going to see great things happen in 2021. I'm going to take this moment to unveil to you our theme for 2021, and I will be talking more to you hopefully on that day when we have a series of just little tiny services throughout the day that I'll be talking to you about our theme, which is going to be carpe diem, which means seize the day. This is our opportunity to seize this moment that we have been given, and rather than allow ourselves to become intimidated or to lose focus, we're going to keep our eyes on Jesus. We're going to be looking for His return, but we're going to be seizing every moment we have to reach the lost, to minister to those who are in need, and to do the work of Jesus Christ here on earth. God bless you. I am so sorry that we're at this point again, but I believe with God's help, we're going to make the best of it together. Have a blessed, wonderful Christmas together with your family.